I said, there is no way we are going to this event now. There's a 0% chance. First and foremost, why are you saying invite? Anybody can go to it. You just buy a ticket to the event, and you're all working to try to get me to confirm that I'm going. And you're doing this as if you're trying to like push my buttons and be like, we got to make her get into her ego so she like shows up and like posts it on social media. Nope, actually, you know, while I'm attacking the feds, maybe not going to a public event, which the feds are organizing, is probably a very good idea. I'm good. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna listen to Power on my headphones and go see Ye. How's that for a memorial for Charlie Kirk? That feels like the right thing for me to do right now.
Looks like Candace Owens might not be wild after all. Jaguar Wright just backed up what Candace has been saying about Charlie Kirk's death being straight up sus. Jaguar dropped hints she's ready to name names, and nobody in that room is safe. Jaguar doesn't play games, and now she's stepping up to call out the whole operation. It seems like she's lining up the receipts and the players who might have been behind Charlie's passing.
It's clear we're not getting all the information. It's clear something's off here. The first person, the old man, I don't even know why he was grabbed, but he was grabbed and his picture was fondled out. And then there was someone else who was a person of interest, and that didn't work. And then we got this guy. He had a bulletproof vest that might have caught the exit. Really? That's interesting. That's definitely an interesting point of view. But what kind of bulletproof vest are you talking about? Because usually bulletproof vests, they cover your front, they cover your back. There's points of vulnerability on the sides usually. I haven't seen too many. I mean, was he wearing like hardcore Kevlar? Like fully body casted? That's wild. Nobody mentioned that yet. Military grade. He was wearing military grade. I don't know. It's funny. Seems like they might have mentioned that.
And people online are buzzing like crazy. Jaguar's been loud about the cover-up for weeks, speaking straight about shady moves and missing pieces. Candace pushed for federal transparency early on, and her doubts spiked when the FBI said they were taking over from local cops. That switch set off alarm bells. The FBI even put out a statement saying special agents from the Salt Lake City field office responded right away and that full resources are on the case: tactical, operational, investigative, and intelligence. They say they're co-leading with partners. Back then, most people treated it like business as usual. Charlie was a public figure tied to the right circles in government, and with the way the crime went down, the feds getting involved seemed normal. So when Candace kept pushing, a lot of fans thought she was overcooking it and acting extra. She even blasted a tweet arguing the feds moved in too fast and that if they really wanted to catch Charlie's killer, they'd drop all the footage and pics and let the internet work. Boom, case closed in minutes. She claimed the appetite to actually solve it wasn't there, and straight up accused the feds of covering up a bigger operation that involved more people we need to know about. There's chatter that some of this mess ties back to underground Discord circles and shadow networks, and people want the names of the directors running them. Candace retweeted a post saying, "I guarantee the FBI was in that Discord server, and that's why we won't get it before it's been scrubbed." Now, critics call her an attention seeker, a clout chaser, even a conspiracy theorist, but others say she's just asking the hard questions.
But I don't want to even get into the whole thing with the GUN being dismantled, the guy jumping off of the roof without the, weapon. This whole thing looks fishy. And that's why I said, I always say this, I say, I'd rather get all the information first, then make a comment. But yeah, it's just real fishy. Of course. They say
We have a right to question the validity of it. And it's got to pass the smell test. There's something wrong with all of this. And everyone is starting to pick it out piece by piece, thread by thread. Everyone is starting to see something's wrong here. The question is, why?
People point to Charlie's closeness with powerful players and the rumor strings that link those players to top agency figures. So why would anyone bury this on purpose? All right, according to Candace, this all smells like a power play behind closed doors. She's been saying Charlie got into real trouble with some heavy-hitting billionaires just weeks before he died, and that those dudes allegedly threatened him. Candace isn't claiming facts as gospel. She's sharing what she's been hearing and urging people to pay attention. She says Charlie took money from powerful donors and then started clashing with them over what he was saying. The pressure got crazy real fast, and people close to him felt it. She even retweeted a post saying Charlie was about to lose his last big donor because he refused to ban Tucker Carlson from events. Now that's drama. Folks are shedding crocodile tears now, but Candace wants those billionaires exposed for what she calls their shady moves and fake sympathy. Candace didn't stop there. She kept accusing the FBI of being sketchy too. Reports say the FBI hasn't ruled out that others may have radicalized or helped Charlie's alleged killer, and agents are supposedly digging through chat logs, dark web links, and the suspect's connections. An FBI official supposedly said they're focused on the radicalization element and vowed the truth won't be hidden or buried or classified. The public deserves answers. No stone should be left unturned, and the folks who radicalize this degenerate need to be held accountable. She flat out refused to let the story die and fired back with a savage clapback. We know they are lying if they'd prefer to try another BS narrative before my show. We'll be happy to shred that one too. People heard that and the panic spread fast. Now it sounds like she straight up suspects the FBI might be in bed with the billionaires who allegedly had it out for Charlie. She thinks they protected those movers and shakers and that calling them out put a big target on her back. Fans freaked when she skipped Charlie's memorial a few days ago, but they were shook harder when she said she stayed away because she feared for her life. To make it worse, the suspect's grandmother swore he'd never fired a gun and had no reason to unlive Charlie. She spoke up saying, "My son, his dad is a Republican for Trump. Most of my family members are Republicans. I don't know any single one who's a Democrat. I'm just so confused. I don't think he ever To tell you the truth, he doesn't hunt. He's never liked anything like that. I know he doesn't own any. There's just no way he could have been that good of a... There's no way he could be violent." She doubled down, insisting, "There's absolutely no way that he did that. I've watched that child grow up, and I can't imagine that it would ever be him. And I'm not just saying that as his grandma, it's just knowing him as I do." Fans felt that raw emotion. And then came the so-called evidence. The texts the feds leaked supposedly showed Tyler confessing to his roommate, but they looked staged from top to bottom. These messages just happened to include every detail the case needed, from admitting he unlived Charlie to saying he engraved his bullets and even naming the exact place he ditched his weapon. Way too convenient. But the internet wasn't buying it, and people started wondering if Candace had been right from day one because the math wasn't adding up. And just when the buzz reached peak confusion, Jaguar Wright stepped in with her own bombshells. And trust, she had plenty to unload on her episode. On her podcast, Jaguar doubled down and backed Candace, saying the feds are hiding stuff from the public. And not to protect the probe, but to shield powerful people who might be tied to Charlie's passing. She said it straight. This ain't about procedure, it's about protecting elites and covering tracks. Then she brought a guest who dropped even hotter takes and new details that made listeners sit up. That guest raised the question, if the feds really are shielding billionaires like Jaguar and Candace claim, then we got a serious problem on our hands. Real shady energy. So now it's on you. What's the move? Do you think there's a full-blown conspiracy, or are Candace and Jaguar blowing this up too much? Speak up and keep it real in the comments. This story's still unfolding and the receipts might show up any minute. If you dug this breakdown, smash that like, hit subscribe, share this vid, and drop your thoughts below. And I'll see you on the next one.